All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's episode of Roundabout Sports, presented by Interstate 70 Sports Media, where our passion is our profession. I am the Maestro Jeremy Carp, and the fabulous Babs is to my right.
Hi
It
guys.
is a very unusual weather day. This Wednesday, December 4th, 2024. I say that because it was snowing the past couple days, and then it was 20 degrees yesterday, and today it almost was 60 degrees. But and tomorrow it'll be 25. So that's Missouri for you. But
Right.
that's where we're at here in the Missouri, in the St. Louis area. Babs, how the hell are you doing?
I am good. I'm just trying to stay warm and enjoying that the snow's gone from the weekend. So,
Yeah, we got a decent amount of it too. That's the funny thing. Um,
yeah, we
so
got about 4 inches out of my house.
Oh my goodness. Um, well, first off, thanks everybody who's been tuning in, whether you're tuning in on X, on Facebook, on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, anywhere else you can stream a podcast. Be sure to check us out, subscribe, share, everything. We're also on Twitch as well, and we are doing some amazing things at Interstate 70 Sports Media. A lot of sponsorship opportunities. If you want to sponsor and advertise with us at I-70, be sure to DM our head of advertising relations, Jared Shannon from Issues with Wrestling, and he will be sure to set you up for success. Um, a lot of interesting news in the world of sports the past few days. First off, I hope everybody had a fantastic Thanksgiving. We were off last week. This is now episode 113. Um,
Yay.
and it's crazy to think that we're here, but we are. Um, and so the first thing we have to talk about,
Well, can I
uh,
interrupt really quick? You were talking
yes,
about sponsorship. I want to just say that I will be out at the card show in O'Fallon, Missouri on December 15th. And you can come out and meet me and see everybody and also meet So Taguchi. So,
ooh,
um,
okay.
yeah, so we will be out there and come say hi, and I'll have a little table. He's going to set us all up out there, and I hope to see you guys, and it'll be a lot of fun. And also, as of today, we are confirmed for SICW's Fan Fest next year in May. So, yay! Got some couple of good
Hell
things
yeah.
coming up soon.
Now, folks, that is on May. That is Saturday, May 17th, and Sunday, May 18th, 2025. It'll be here before you know it. But location, we'll give out more details later. But yes, we are confirmed to be there. What we're gonna do there, we're gonna figure that out. We got so many different ideas in store, but we look forward to seeing you all there. And this lady right here is the reason for that happening. So
Yeah,
big
and
shout out.
December 15th, I will put out a link also of where the card show is because I can't remember the street offhand, but it's in O'Fallon, Missouri, and it's for Dave Jackson and his card
Yep.
show. And we will be out there on December 15th with them. And I hope to see you guys there. You just come say hi. I mean, I know a lot of you guys, so just come over and say hi.
Exactly. So we would love to see you guys out there. So the first thing, I know we had talked about this before the show. It is, God help us. I, I'm a little worried about this. I saw this on Instagram, and it was a post of Nolan Arenado in Los Angeles. And it just brought the thought to my head of Nolan Arenado becoming a Los Angeles Dodger. Um, the rumors have been circulating like crazy. The biggest reason for that is mainly the Cardinals are potentially looking to do a salary dump. And obviously the biggest piece would be Nolan Arenado. Um, and the Dodgers are reportedly interested in making a blockbuster trade. So Cardinals are well open to trading the 10-time Gold Glove winner. They're going to be using 2025 to rebuild this team. So he hopes to play. Arenado said, Babs, that he hopes to play meaningful October baseball this year. And look,
I don't think that'll happen with the Cardinals, unfortunately.
yeah, not this year at least. And who knows?
No.
Maybe it'll be a surprise that something will happen. But I mean, when you're in Los Angeles listening to Kendrick Lamar's Dodger Blue, yeah. That definitely brings up a lot.
Well, do you honestly think that they would? Because didn't they just give Edmund like 74 million or something like that? And aren't they already at the luxury tax?
Yes.
So I honestly, and how much is Arenado owed over the next few years?
So I'm gonna take a look at Arenado's contract because that's the biggest thing in all this right now. Bear with me just 1 second. Okay. So last year, he had earned 24 million. He's on the books for 21 million this year, 16 million in 2026. In 2027, he'll get 15 million. Basically,
so roughly about 30 million left on
tax
his
percentage though is about 10.6%.
So okay, I could probably see that happening, and he could go out with Edmund. Because I mean, that would be kind of cool to see them back together. Because I know that they were really good friends when they were here.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. So that leaves the question of who do we get back though?
I mean, I really want to see that. Who would we get in return? Like, I'll tell you one thing: we're not getting Tommy Edman. We're not going to get Freddie Freeman. We're not getting Ohtani. You're not getting Yamamoto. You're not getting Blake Snell. Matt, and I swear, and this is the thing. I get he's all right. You want to know what? It's going to sound crazy. What if they got Max Muncy?
I mean, okay.
He's, a 34-year-old third baseman for a 34-year-old third baseman. The trade kind of evens out.
I mean, yeah.
It could. That's just a thought.
We could get Mookie too.
Right. Okay. Yeah. We're not getting Mookie. Like, we're not getting.
Hey, I'm talking on Mo terms here because I mean that if we're gonna be real, he does kind of overachieve on a lot of things with that. So why not? I mean, if we're gonna ask for the world, we might as well ask for the moon too.
Exactly. And Poolside Pat, God love him, he says, "There's no way, but I wouldn't hate that." That's an interesting.
I mean, me either.
Okay, so this is interesting. He went and look at the World Series though. Muncy went 0 for 16 with 10 strikeouts. Don't really want that on the team if you're trying to rebuild.
Right.
So, but you want to look at Max Muncy overall. We'll take a look at how he did in 2024. I mean, he went. He got a 232 average, 48 RBIs, 15 home runs. Nothing to scream to the skies about, but Baz, what are your thoughts on the prospect of Arenado going to the Dodgers?
Well, it kind of makes me sad because we never got to see the playoffs with him, and it was such a huge deal whenever he got here. And it just seems like the air was let out of the tires immediately whenever he got here. And I want him to succeed, and I know it's not going to be here for a little while. So I have to be realistic and be like, I want him to do better things, but I also want to be the fan and be like, no, don't leave. So I don't know. I'm kind of torn. My mom's going to be really, really upset though. Yeah.
Here's my question. How much of an absolute failure would it be if the Cardinals traded away um, Arenado and got rid of Goldschmidt with neither of them sniffing the postseason?
Oh, big time. Especially since they were here together. You had the best corner pieces in baseball, and you didn't do anything with it.
Right. And I mean, it's not that they didn't make the postseason, but we didn't win a playoff game with them. We literally
No,
didn't even win a playoff game with them. And
no.
that's two future Hall
And
of
it was
Famers you
only,
have.
yeah, honestly.
Like, that's the thing. When you have two future Hall of Famers on a team, well, I mean, that whole team, you had four future Hall of Famers. You had Pujols, Molina, Goldie, and Arenado. And you didn't even win a playoff game. Like, if that is how you're going to be,
And honestly,
unbelievable.
okay, now I will play devil's or advocate about this, because I will say that the team itself was great, but the coaches behind them staying, I guess, motivated was a big failure. Very, very big, because I think your coaches are the tools you need to make your team go out there and do a good job. But if Ollie just seems like he's just showing up for a 9 to 5 job every day and doesn't put out his best, or doesn't know what he's doing for that matter, I mean, it's kind of tough for everyone around.
Yeah, that it really is.
That's
It blows
because
my mind.
I've explained the last 2 seasons like this. I've explained it to, they just seem like they're going in and clocking in at a factory job, doing the bare minimum, and then going home.
Damn.
Well, it's true though. It's for everyone on the team, the coaches, I mean, the front office for that matter, because, well, Mo's not going to be here next year, so I kind of see
That's
his
true.
care, and I kind of see his caring level a little bit down a little, because what does he have to lose now?
Right. I was gonna say he's done, so he ain't got anything to lose on this.
And I'm really not trying to be harsh. I'm really not.
It's
It's just,
frustrating though.
yeah, it is very frustrating to see what the Cardinals have become, because people used to fall over themselves trying to become a Cardinal, but now it just seems like we're just a has been question mark.
Yeah. I
And that's really sad for me.
and it's interesting. I mean, Wilson Contreras is making a lot of money for this team, and they have no problem keeping him. And I'm not saying Contreras is bad by any stretch of the means. I'm glad they're keeping him. But when you are literally willing to part with your core leader, for the sake of
Yeah.
money, like, I get it. You want the youth movement. I get it. You want to rebuild. But guess what? Um you can still have a veteran leadership.
Well,
And that's
you
where guys
need
like
that.
Contreras and Arenado come in.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. You need that, because if you just have kids out there just playing ball, I mean, yeah, they'll win games, but I mean, is it going to be because they're the better team, or is it just because they won against, I don't know, for luck, I guess.
Yeah.
And I will say this little note, that it was noted yesterday that I guess Yachty had a interview in like the Dominican Republic, and he said that he's waiting on the Cardinals literally to call him for the manager's job when Ollie is gone.
Jeez.
So take that for what it's worth. But I honestly, and I saw comments on the post that this made, but and it was kind of interesting to hear people say, well, I don't know if it's time for Yachty to come back because he doesn't have a winning team. So if they weren't winning, they'll be mad at him, and it might tarnish what he has here.
Right.
So I don't know. There's a lot out there to think about this season, especially with the new front office and everything else coming up too.
Yeah, I really do. And I wanted to ask you about Ryan Helsley as well. I mean, do you think he's going to be potentially next on that chopping block?
I mean, who are they going to replace him with though?
And that's the big situation. Or the big
Because I really
question.
don't think that we really have a bullpen per se. I mean, I can honestly name two people in our bullpen right now, and that's Helsley and Romero. That's it. Like, and that's sad. What
Yeah.
is John Gant doing these days? That would be a pretty good reunion because he was actually really good for us.
Right. I mean, let me take a quick look at there was a comment that I removed. I don't know how to get back to it, but they were frustrated on the prospect of Arenado leaving. But John Gant currently, so you want to talk about John Gant? He is actually a free agent. He's 32 years old. Um,
Yeah.
you know, 3.89 ERA. Spent a good amount of years with the Cardinals, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the NPB in Japan last time he pitched. So he was released in July of last year. So I mean, a reunion would be nice potentially. Um,
Yeah, I mean that would be awesome, and he was really good. And you know, we're talking about that veteran leadership. He does have some years under him, and that would be really nice to have there too. And I mean, it's not a fancy name, but it's a name that'll get you some innings and some outs.
yes, it definitely will get you some innings and outs. My next question in regards to this whole thing with the Cardinals. Is it a bad look that they're trying to trade Arenado?
Very much so, and I think fans are in on it too. Like they know what they're doing, and I don't know. I think fans have become, what's the word I'm looking for? Spiteful, maybe, because of
I
Mo
mean, but
over the years.
understandably enough, I feel.
Yeah, and I feel like it has a lot to do with a lot of things, and I feel like if Arenado is traded, St. Louis will lose their crap. Okay, to be frank and honest about it, they will probably lose their crap.
They probably would. I could
Yeah.
easily very much see that. Um, Moving ahead now, Babs, I want you to take the lead. You were talking about winter warmups coming up. I mean, where do the Cardinals stand with winter warmups? And given the fact that we have everything going on with the whole Arenado, Ryan Helsley, the whole potential youth movement, everything that's going on.
Well, autograph tickets go on sale next Friday, so they have to make a decision before then.
That
Because
is true.
honestly, yes, because honestly, if people buy tickets for Arenado, they're not going to be able to trade them. Not at all. Yeah, because not only will that cause an uproar just because they're trading him, but oh my gosh, we just spent all this money to meet him. I mean, I know that they'll give you a refund, but that would be also a bad look. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it is coming up on January, let me see, 18th or 19th, 20th, and 21st. and it's at the Lowe's Hotel at Ballpark Village. And Mason actually got us our tickets for it, and we're going to be down there all 3 days. And we actually got a mystery autograph ticket, so we don't know who we're meeting yet. So we'll figure that out next week, hopefully, and that'll be really fun.
Yes, that definitely will be. I'll definitely. I can't tell you. I would
It's
love.
Arenado. That would be wild.
Oh my god, that would be wild too. I
Yeah.
this is my whole thing with Arenado. It's interesting because look, the Cardinals are most likely going to trade him, and it's going to suck that they're going to. And while it's going to suck, the fact is that he's probably going to the Yankees or the Dodgers is what really just pisses me off.
I
The fact
know.
we're really going to feed them with more ammo
Yeah,
because
and
it's not like we didn't give Tommy Edman to the Dodgers
I mean we basically did, yeah.
and he became the NLCS MVP. Eddie's tuning in. Eddie Jamerson, thank you so much,
Hi,
folks.
Eddie.
Be sure to send us your comments, questions, as best you can. We're on Facebook, on X, on YouTube. I'm telling you right now, folks. Yeah, it is. Right now, we're Babs and the Maestro here. We're talking about Nolan Arenado and the trade rumors of going to Los Angeles. But there's also teams like the Blue Jays, the Nationals, the Yankees that are in on this. I'm not ready for it.
The MLB is just trying to make me a Dodgers fan. They're just trying.
That is not going to make me a Dodger fan. That's going to make me hate the Dodgers. Now, Eddie brings his prediction in. Eddie says, look, if he gets traded, he's going to the Phillies. Now, see, I can kind of get behind that because it's not something you see. Makes me want to vomit the thought of Nolan Arenado in a Dodger blue uniform.
Well, weren't the Rockies and the Dodgers kind of like
They were
rivals?
rivals in the division.
And so
The Phillies would be an interesting twist.
oh, I agree. I'm okay with that, but I'm just like I don't know.
No Dodgers, no Yankees, no New York, no LA. Like that's all there is to it. I don't need. And this is once again the consequence of there not being a salary cap in baseball. You're a
Right.
team like the A's or the Rays or the Guardians, you have so less of a chance getting a guy like Nolan Arenado as opposed to being the Dodgers, the Mets, the Yankees, the hell, even Houston. Like these teams, yes, and St. Louis is always one of the top markets for attendance, but they're still one of the smallest markets in revenue for the sake of the fact that St. Louis is one of the smallest baseball cities.
Yeah, but we still get superstars here and there sometimes.
Yeah, but hang on.
We waste it, but we still get them sometimes.
Right. I want to put this into perspective. So if you want to take the metro area of the top 25 MLB teams, and we're not talking about the core city, but we mean the metro area. St. Louis comes in 18th, the greater St. Louis area. They're ahead of areas like Denver, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Kansas City, Milwaukee. But then you got your Detroits, your Atlantas, Boston, Toronto. People need to understand how big of a city Toronto really is. You don't think much of it because they're in Canada, so people don't really, talk about them as much. But it's a big market.
I'm
And
gonna just pull up X and see if there's any kind of rumblings of Arenado like now, just recently, just to see what they're saying.
I mean, the thing of it is, lately, the most recent thing is that, from ESPN is that one of their insiders, that being Kylie McDaniel, saying that he would like to see the Blue Jays go after Arenado. Once
Well,
again, another
okay.
interesting move.
Well,
Potentially.
there's also rumblings of maybe him going to the other side of New York and going to the Mets too, which I would be okay with that too, just
Uh,
because they are kind of like the stephead or the redheaded stepchild of New York's baseball because everyone is a Yankees fan.
right.
It would be better. It would be better for them to do the Mets though, at least fan
Yeah.
wise.
I don't know. Folks, tell us what you think. Where do you think Arenado should go? If he should stay with St. Louis, if he should go to another team, and why going to the Dodgers would be the absolute worst idea possible. That's how I'm gonna say it right now. You put him there, it is going to be absolutely atrocious. So please, for the love of the good Lord above.
Someone just said that there's a mock trade from Jim Bowman and The Athletic that Phillies get Arenado and Helsley, and St. Louis gets Bohm and Nori.
Oh
Do you know
man.
who they are?
Who?
They said it says the mock trade is Arenado and Helsley for Bohm and Nori from Philly.
Hmm. Interesting.
And that was from The Athletic from Mark Bowman.
Well, damn. Um, we also got a new. I think Eddie's saying Helsley won't get traded, or we don't want traded. And I agree. I don't want Helsley gone. Helsley's top closer in baseball right now. Why would you get rid of Ryan Helsley? There's
Right.
no reason. There is literally no proper reason to have Ryan Helsley traded away from the Cardinals. I don't think there is for Arenado either, but hell, it is what it is, I guess.
I mean, I wouldn't do it personally just because you can't trade two of the biggest stars on your team in the same season. I mean, that would just be almost devastating because then nobody would show up.
Yeah. I mean that is true as well.
But
I
Mo might do it just like as a little haha on his way out. You know what I mean? I could see it happening.
I
I'm
could. I could see it as well.
just saying, but it's so frustrating, but I could see it.
But the thing of it is, it is strictly money related because let me tell you something about Nolan Arenado. Literally um the past 4 seasons that he's been with the Cardinals. He's been with the Cardinals 4 years. If anything, first year he hit 255, then 293, last or 2023 he hit 266, and 2024 he hit 272. He's averaged over 150 hits in each season. He had his lowest RBI total last year, but that was more of an issue with the rest of the Cardinals offense as opposed to him. Um, I mean, yes, his RBIs have decreased. His first year with the Cardinals, he hit 105 RBIs. Last year, 71. Um, his strikeout totals have been about average as far as on the same par with what he's been. But this is the interesting thing. You take Nolan Arenado's 8 years with the Rockies, um, and his 4 years with the Cardinals, and interestingly enough, they're not all that different. Um, his OPS is 890 with the Rockies, it took 8 years. Meanwhile, it was 797 in 4 years with St. Louis. So
I guess
yeah,
there's I don't know. I'm just so torn about this whole situation, and it's just going to cause an uproar for everyone. I just don't think they should do it right now.
yeah, I agree. Um, Folks, as we get the halfway point here on Roundabout Sports, I want to thank everybody that's been tuning in. And for that, I mean, I'm the Maestro Jeremy Carp alongside the fabulous Babs, Barbie, and herself. Um, so talk a lot about the Cardinals. I want to talk about the Blues for a second. This is where you, Babs, have followed extremely closely ever since, especially Drew Bannister got the boot, and Jim
Yes, and
Montgomery and Monty
Monty
comes in.
finally got his first win. Yay! I'm excited
Monty,
for that.
I'm,
And I
I'm,
honestly think that the team is really excited for that too, because I see, I don't know, it's really kind of weird. Whenever they got rid of the coach before, okay, I always like mess up his really name, Berube though. What the coach before him, like when they released him and they brought in Berube, it was almost like an overnight click, and you just saw a completely different team. And now it seems like the team has a fire under them, and they're really happy that they have Monty back because a lot of those guys know him already, anyways. So it's just been really awesome to watch, and I hope that it helps with winning now.
yes, I would hope so. I mean, this is the interesting thing. You take a look at the this. I mean, this was the fourth straight loss for the Jets, and Cairo got 2 goals out of it. Um, you know, right now the St. Louis Blues are 3-0-1 since Montgomery was named coach on November 24th. Um, wow.
Right.
And right now the Jets are 18-8-0. But looking at the standings for the Blues, this 3-0-1 surge, they're up to fifth place in the division. They're 12-12-2. They got 26 points. They're knocking right on the door of Colorado. There's a big space between them and Dallas, but also you're taking down a division rival. That's a huge statement win right there for Monty.
Yeah, and that's awesome. And I'm really excited. And I think my son's going to the next game the next week or whatever. So hopefully they get a win for there. But it's like I said, it just seems like the team's just really excited to have him back, and it seems like the fire's back almost because they're almost playing like they're a team now. So
Right. I was gonna say, is this the how should I word this? Is this what the Cardinal or not the Cardinals? Is this what the Blues really needed to have happen? Is a coaching change?
well, yeah, and if you're a coach, no offense to the old coach, but I just nobody really talked about him, and he just kind of was there. And now we have an actual coach that can do something and hopefully get them to a cup. Maybe not this year, but maybe next year.
That would definitely be awesome.
Yeah, because it's like I said, Berube was in his like first year with the Blues too, wasn't he? When they
Yes,
went to the Cup, yeah. So yeah, it would be almost like a Cinderella story if that were to happen again.
it would be. It really honestly would. And I do like that as soon as one thing the Blues I feel like had an issue with is the lack of initiative. So I like that literally as soon as Bannister got the boot, or as soon as Monty got the boot, the Blues decided, okay, well, we're going to give Bannister the boot. We're bringing in Monty, and here's where they're at. So you love to see them take that initiative, knowing a change needed to be made.
Well, and I don't think anybody thought that the Bannister was going to be the guy either. And I honestly don't think he knew that he was going to be the guy either. So I think it's good overall, and hopefully they can make this long term, and hopefully they'll start winning some games.
Do you think that um I was gonna say, do you think Monty or not Monty? Do you think Maestro was just the placeholder?
Oh yeah, very much so, and I think he knew that too. Because I honestly don't think that they knew what they were going to do after Berube left. I think he was just the guy that, when, okay, I hate to use this as an example, but in like wrestling where you have a transitional champion where you don't want the guy that's, yeah, you have the guy that you don't really want to have the champion, but he's okay for a little while, kind of like the Miz, so to speak. So yeah, I kind of see him as like the transitional guy of maybe hopefully Monty settling into this position and making it a long-term thing and actually winning games and actually going out there and doing awesome.
Right. Do you I mean, it's still early in the season. It's hard to tell what will happen, but I do think Monty was the perfect hire in the situation and the circumstances that the Blues were and are in.
Yeah, and I honestly think that well, I would hope that they were trying to do this before the season got started, but maybe they just needed Monty to open up a little bit more for the position, and that's why it got done so early into the season. You know what I mean?
Right. Um,
So, because
I
I
definitely.
do actually remember rumblings of maybe hearing his name over the off season before it started. So,
I mean, you'll take what you can get, right?
I mean, yeah. And as somebody asked him what was the thing that brought him here, and he was like, "I was promised toasted raviolis every Friday."
I was gonna say you got. Oh my god, I can go for some toasted ravs right about
Me
now.
too. I am starving.
Ugh. So, folks, moving on now, and this is the one that's gonna kill me. This is really gonna kill me. Okay, because this guy is. We've talked about him on the show before. He is a complete buffoon, a complete goofball, and it just frustrates me to no end that he continuously is finding new ways to live up to it. Rob Manfred, the godforsaken commissioner of Major League Baseball. Okay, now stop me if you've heard. Okay, I can't believe we're even talking about this. He is. This is confirmed. I want to make this clear before I continue. This is not just some rumor mill crap that you just see on a second-rate blog or something. No, this is 1,000,000% confirmed by the man himself. The MLB owners and Rob Manfred have discussed the golden rule in baseball. Okay, the idea is that basically, once a game, a manager will get to put his best hitter at the plate, regardless of where the batting order is. Okay, so imagine as a pitcher facing the Dodgers, you get Otani out in a high leverage situation. But guess what? Dave Roberts gets to play his golden at bat card, and you have to face him all over again. Or here, I got a better one. Let's say you're facing the Yankees and the bases are loaded against the 5, 6, and 7 hitters. Of course, bottom of the barrel lineup, even though it's still a star lineup. But Aaron Boone decides, you know what? Juan Soto, get on in there.
I love how you use Soto.
Like, yeah, these are just hypotheticals. I get it. But really? The
Yeah,
golden
no.
at bat rule. Now, there is some interesting rule changes that have happened over the past few seasons. There is the pitch clock, the limited pickoff attempts at first. bigger bases, and free runners on second starting in the 10th inning. The biggest one has been the speeding up of the game. That one has been a success. I don't care what anybody says. The speeding up of a baseball game has been a success. I will give them that. If
Yeah.
anything, that has been huge. The golden at bats, whole different conversation. This is unbelievable. This isn't baseball. Are you serious right now?
Yeah,
There's
and
an
I'm reading through to the X comments from people talking about this, and
yeah, it's
yeah,
hilarious. You know what? It would be more hilarious if it wasn't true. But it's the fact that it's true and it's being discussed. And I can't wait to talk to Hollywood James Knox and ask him what he thinks, him being an umpire, a professional baseball umpire. I want to ask his opinion on this.
oh, me too.
Because this is unbelievable. The fact of the matter that you could literally just put in your best. Okay, I got a perfect one. I got a perfect one for you. Let's say you have Jim Edmonds. You're the '04 Cardinals. You struck out Pujols. You got Edmonds, Roland, and Reggie Sanders on base. Okay,
God, I
well,
wish.
guess what? Screw it. Let's put back in Pujols. Why put in Mark Grizzolanic? Why put in Tony Womack, even though he led off? Or Renteria? We're putting back in Pujols. No Mike Matheny. Put in Pujols. Okay. Yeah. See how that goes. I'm telling you, this golden at bat rule is to me it's worse than the automated strike zone. That's right.
Oh, I agree.
I'm going there because guess what? I think the automated strike zone. I think the robot umpires. I think the automatic strike zones. I think shit like that is absolutely stupid. So for them to even consider this golden at bat rule, I mean, baseball is a beautiful sport. Why mess with it?
Now, I will say this. Whenever I was a kid, you always had that little thing of where you wish like you're at this game and they wish that you could just bring in like the best player of the team to win the game. But that's not how it works in real life though. That's movie stuff.
Yeah, there is a reason things are for the video games and the movies,
Yes.
and things are for real life. I would love it if everything would be like Robert Redford in the Natural, but it's not. Guess
Right.
what? When I go to the dirt ball field, I don't see a bunch of dead ball players coming out of the corn stalks. That's a
You
movie.
you don't? Oh,
No,
sorry. Oh, well, I must be at the
yet,
wrong one then. I was
maybe,
gonna say yet, maybe.
yet. Give me some time. I
Yeah.
might. Um, like,
If you build
um,
it, they will come.
if you build it, they will come.
Yep. But let's not build this one though. I don't like this. I was already against the extra runner after the extra inning rule that they've got. I don't like that with that one either.
Yeah, I don't like it one bit. And the funny thing is, we're far from the only ones that don't like it. Now, this is something I wanted to bring up though in regards to this. Bleacher Report actually says it's wild enough that it could work. Okay. So, look, I'm going to tell you something. This is straightforward honesty. The golden at bat rule is some Savannah Bananas type crap. And I love
Mm-hmm.
the Savannah Bananas, okay? Like, that works though. It works for them if they did that. It doesn't work for a major league baseball team. It,
No, and I
you know,
agree with that.
like, but at the same time, when you take where we're at in society, attention spans have dropped astronomically. Like
Very much so.
mine has. I
Mine
mean,
too.
maybe it's because I'm also such a sports fan that I'm able to still watch, as opposed. But I get it because there's a lot of other things I don't have the attention span to just watch all the way through. So I think about it from the perspective of fans that are newer fans, and that these owners are trying to float around ideas that could keep them in. And yes, like you said earlier, imagine that type of video game or movie scenario where you can bring in your favorite player growing up, like to come in the clutch at bat. And let's keep in mind, just because you could bring him up there, that doesn't mean it would work.
Right, exactly.
Like,
And I think it'll work about 3 times out of 10.
think about the what's another one? Okay, the intentional walk, where instead of it being the four pitches, you just say, yeah, bye, take your base. Or even the oh hell, what's another good one? The minimum batter rule, where you have to face three
Oh
batters.
yeah.
You know, that doesn't always work in the favor of the hitters, like,
Or the batter or the pitchers either,
or the pitchers
for that
either.
matter.
Like, so do I think it's a good idea? No, not at all. I think it's a terrible rule. Keep in mind, folks, this is not confirmed that it's happening, but it's confirmed it's been discussed. So basically, it's been brought to life. It
Well,
has been.
can they do like a really huge like vote on X for fans and be like, "Hey, do you like this or not?" And then just be like, "Okay, well, that's not an idea anymore." So, and I
You know
promise you
what?
that would not
This is the
fly.
funniest thing, though, Babs. You bring up a great point. For a league, and all sports should be like this. For a league that says they're wanting to do things for the fans and care about the fans, they definitely don't get much fan input on things.
Yeah, like why not put out a poll about all these new ideas if like you want to if this is going to be your fan base, you might as well ask the fans and your, people that pay your bills because they pay for the subscriptions of your TV and they buy your merch and all this stuff.
Speaking of paying, the price, this is a quick side note. The price of the Las Vegas A's stadium has increased to $1.75 billion because of inflation and unforeseen circumstantial costs.
Like what? Putting a baseball team in the middle of a desert? Well,
I mean, yeah, that's one unforeseen one. I thought putting the Raiders in the Death Star was weird enough, but now you're putting a baseball team out there.
well, am I wrong? I'm
No,
just
you're not wrong,
saying.
but they're saying, yeah, the cost is, and I don't remember what the original cost is, but it's gone up to almost $2 billion.
Okay, now another question. Follow up to putting a baseball team in the middle of the desert. Are they giving them a domed stadium, or
No,
is it?
it is not a dome stadium.
Uh, okay, let me go back to putting the baseball team in the middle of a desert without a dome.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um.
So are we gonna like take bets of who's gonna be the first one to croak from heat exhaustion?
So what? Literally, well, one of the biggest things, they want larger suites. That's one thing they want. They're aiming for is larger suites. And this is interesting because the Fisher family, um, you know, He's estimated at a net worth of $3.2 billion. He can afford this, but he's also trying to find minority equity investors in the whole thing as well. But, you know, he says he and his family will contribute as much as $1.1 billion to this project. So this comes to my big conclusion on this whole story with the A's. You will fund $1.1 billion of your own money in desert-ass Las Vegas, but you will not help fund half of that for the not the Coliseum. Well, yeah, the A's Coliseum.
Well, all they were asking for was a new stadium on the same property. They just wanted upgrades.
You could, and that's the thing. Yes, I get it. The stadium wasn't that good. You know, there was a lot of problems with the stadium. But if you have no problem spending all that money to build a whole damn new stadium, why not spend that money to repair that one? Or
I agree,
hear me out. Just build a new stadium on the property. That's what they did with Busch. Half of new Busch Stadium is old Busch Stadium property.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is so wrong with that? Oakland, I feel bad for Oakland. They got the pooch got screwed if you live in Oakland because they lost every sports team they had. Every team is gone. And look, it ain't right. It ain't right. And they're going to Sacramento while this stadium's being built.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, for the next 3 years, they're playing in Sacramento.
Why don't they just play in Oakland until the stadium's done? See? I know. I know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring it up.
Worry about putting Aaron Judge at bat before the backup third baseman or something. I don't know. That's a baseball for you. This is why football's America's game. Like, yeah, granted, St. Louis has gotten screwed the pooch on football teams too, but I mean, sweet Jesus, we didn't lose every team. We still have 4 professional sports teams.
Right.
Oakland has 0. Shit, San Diego.
They don't even have a hockey team anymore, do they?
No.
Oh my gosh. That is terrible.
They don't got.
But yeah, I just don't understand why they just don't play in Oakland until their new stadium's done in Vegas if they're that worried about it. Is it because Oakland the city is mad and they don't want them there anymore?
I don't know. I at this point, I don't know.
I know.
I really don't. And it drives me nuts. But this is the thing. Like, baseball has so many weird things going on right now. Rule changes, potential rule changes, relocations. They're still trying to figure out the race situation for next year because the Tropicana Field ain't going to be ready.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And okay. So I heard they were right. Yeah. So I heard that they were going to build a new stadium, right? The Rays.
Yes, in 2028 is the plan to build a new stadium.
Okay, from what I heard, that is no longer a thing because of what happened at Tropicana now, because they're going to have to spend the money to fix that up. And apparently they're just rebuilding and making improvements in that building and not moving now.
Okay, I'm going to say right now, and you can hate the Oakland State as much as you want. Tropicana Field is the worst stadium in baseball. It is.
And it's got this stupid little, it's got that stupid little thing in it too. Or is that the Marlins that have that stupid pool in it?
Oh, that's Miami with the whole water.
Yeah, that's the yes, that Marlins is so stupid.
I remember when they had the Orange Bowls as their ballpark. God, but that was back when multiple teams used the same stadium. Saved so much trouble and money. But now every team's got to have their own stadium, and there's that sort of revenue and everything. Um, I it just drives me nuts. And Rob Manfred, when he became the commissioner of baseball, we didn't know what to expect. Um, you know, we thought it would be a safe bet. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. He is getting more and more criticism every passing day. He's trying. He's trying to make things better, but really, the golden at bat rule. First off, if you're gonna call it anything, call it the next man up rule or something. Give it a more
Yeah.
badass name. The golden at bat rule. Like that sounds like a Monopoly card or something. Oh, I'm investing my golden at bat rule. Like on
It's
Michigan
a
Avenue.
community chest. It's the
Yeah, the
community
community
chest.
chest MLB edition. Like, are you kidding me right now?
Oh my gosh, they could totally make an MLB monopoly with like the community chest of like all these ideas that they've got, like an extra man on base. And like, I'm sorry.
I still can't get over your desert comment. Um,
Well,
that was God tier. I absolutely
Juan
loved it.
Soto to the Chicago White Sox. Oh my gosh, he would like. Would he allow that?
I mean, this is the interesting thing. The final number of his contract is going to be at least 600 million. I'm telling you right now.
There is no way.
I'm not even kidding. This
There is
weekend,
no
as
way.
it's getting closer. It is getting closer, Babs. I can confirm is that the bidding war is getting closer to the finish line for Juan Soto. Um, and we are getting to the point where it'd be 600 million at least.
But
At
okay,
least. That's the thing.
like
We will
that's
know by the time the winter meetings in Dallas start. We will know. It could go
and when
upwards
is
of
that? That's
700
next weekend.
December 9th.
Oh, that's Saturday. Okay. Well,
Well, it's
that might
Monday.
answer our. Well, that might. Oh yeah. Oh no, that's Saturday. Saturday the 9th, right?
No, Saturday's the 7th because PWE.
Oh yeah.
7th
Okay.
and 8th, and then Monday's the 9th. But by the time with winter meetings and everything, Eddie,
Oh
I
my
don't
gosh.
even know, Eddie, what team you honestly do think he will go to, though. But I'm telling you right now, he will be, he will get over $500 million. He might get over 3/4 of $1 million or 3/4,
But
however you
who's
want to
going to
word
be
it.
able to pay that on the coast? Nobody.
This is the
Nobody on
reason
either coast.
you can, and I'll tell you why. Is it going to be insane that they can? Yes, but can they? Yes. You know why? TV revenue. Teams like the Dodgers and the Yankees have multi-billion-dollar TV contracts. It's in their money. Yankees haven't won a World Series since 2009, but guess what? They're still throwing money around like it's chump change. Dodgers at least have won 2 World Series since 2009. And look, they're the 2 biggest cities in America. You are never going to not get a massive audience out of them. It's just how it is.
But with all these TV deals where you don't even know if you're going to be able to watch your channel, like, how are they making this money up? Where is it coming from?
It's coming from all different avenues that can go back to the team. I guess either merch, television contracts, concessions, like it's every
Well,
little
I guess
bit.
so. Yeah, I guess so. But
You
man, it
charge
just seems like a
$25
lot.
for a beer. I mean, shoot, you'll make some money.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's
So,
very true.
um, that's my big thing. Like the Juan Soto sweepstakes. is really picking up. Now, apparently, the Yankees and Mets are two of the big teams in this. Now, so far, these are the top 5 teams: the Dodgers, the Mets, the Yankees, the Red Sox, and the Blue Jays. This is now a lot of, because keep in mind, look at Ohtani's contract. For luxury tax purposes, the $700 million deal Ohtani signed was valued at $460 million.
Oh, yeah, it was, wasn't it?
But guess what? I don't think with Scott Boras as his agent, I don't think it's going to go that way. I think he's going to get a lot more. And Eddie's wanting him to go to the Blue Jays. That's another interesting one. Lamette, I mean, obviously Arenado, if he left, he ain't going to Toronto if Soto is. But can we just imagine? I mean, I remember when Parker, God rest his soul, was still with us. I remember I had predicted a Blue Jays Cardinals World Series, and yeah, that didn't go so well. I really thought. And I'm telling you right now, Eddie, a small market team is not going to be able to get Juan Soto.
Unfortunately.
Look, there's just no way. You want to know the smallest market that's probably going to get him would be would it be Toronto? Maybe.
Probably the Phillies. If he were to go to the Phillies, maybe.
I don't even think the Phillies are going to shell out that much money.
I don't know. They gave Bryce Harper a crazy amount.
That's why they're not going to shell out another amount. Philadelphia tax money is different than New York and LA tax money.
Okay, that's true. That's
what I'm saying. Look, the size of our rooms right now that we're recording this show in, I'd have to pay $400 a month if I lived in LA for this.
Yep, and New York too. New York, you're probably half of your room. Actually, you probably have enough for a bed and a hot plate.
Yeah, this room would be my apartment in LA, and it would cost me about $400 or $500 a month. And somehow I'd have to have a refrigerator in here, a bed, which would probably be just a sleeping bag at this point. So yeah, folks, we're going overtime here on Roundabout Sports on episode 113, and there ain't nothing wrong with a little overtime. Unfortunately, this isn't the type of overtime I get paid for, but I don't care. I'm having fun, Babs. What about you?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I wanted to talk about this is okay. Luther Burden announced that he was declaring for the NFL draft. Mizzou star wide receiver Luther Burden. And a lot of people are upset for multiple reasons. You got those that are just going to miss the fact he's going to the NFL. But also that means he's not playing in whatever bowl game Mizzou goes in.
Right.
That is a big issue a lot of people have with college football. If you're declaring for the draft, you're a star guy, most likely you ain't playing in the bowl game. Why would Mizzou, or why would Luther Burden III go out there with Mizzou in the let's just say the Cure Bowl or the LA Bowl or the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, any of these bowls? Because Mizzou's not going in the college football playoff tournament. So don't matter to him none. And you can call it selfish if you want, but to me, it's understandable. Like, Babs, what's your take on this?
I really don't have a take really on this. I really don't know Mizzou very well to say anything. I just hope Mizzou does well. That's what I'll say. That's my input. I just hope they do well.
Well, Eddie's tuning in saying, what do you think about Mizzou's men's basketball team? I like the start they're at right now, Eddie. They've won 7 straight, and yet they're 7-1 overall. To me, the biggest thing though, they're 7-0 at home. They've only
Wow.
played one road game and they lost it. Now, at some point in the SEC, you're going to have to start winning those road games, and Mizzou's going to have some when they take on. Oh, excuse me. They don't have a road game until January 4th when they take on number 2 Auburn. But then they got Florida. They'll have Texas. They'll have Mississippi State. Or yeah, I was gonna say that was Mississippi State. So they got some road games, but not till next year. So this is a great chance for Mizzou men's basketball to really kick it in high gear. Because look, just because they're 7-1, you still got Kentucky, Georgia, Auburn, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Florida all above you. A big chunk of that is just because of conference wins. But in that conference, the worst team in the SEC in basketball right now is 5-3, and that's South Carolina. So if the only thing that's separating you from the middle of the pack and last place is 2 losses, I mean, the competition's tough. I will say that right now.
Even for not
But
being a huge college like football and basketball fan or follower or anything like that, I have at least heard of Auburn, and so at least
yeah,
So
and that's the funny thing. See, Babs is the blues is the specialist right there. And of course the Cardinals aficionado. The tattoos say it all. Good
I got
lord.
my little Carlos Martinez little Fredbird.
It's just fabulous. I wonder.
Yes.
I need to get me in a little bit of an applause sound effect because otherwise all I got is the.
I have. You can't see him very well, but I have Yachty too. Go this way. I have Yachty too.
See, we're rocking out because you got them Cardinals tats.
Yeah. My
So
Yachty tat was actually mentioned on Channel 2 News during All-Star Week when they were here, I think, in 2019, I want to say?
yeah,
What was that? Yeah. So my friend of mine that's on my Facebook, we were in a heated debate during the All-Star Week, and I posted my picture of my tattoo, and he was like, I'm definitely going to say something about this on the news, and I did it. It's on there, and it's really cool.
right. Oh my god.
He was saying that I could make a video to try to convince Yachty to give me All-Star tickets.
That is awesome.
I was like, no.
What?
But
No.
yeah.
So the last thing I want to talk about before we wrap up here on Roundabout Sports, because this has been a fantastic episode.
Yeah, this has been great.
You know, it's the elephant, or it's not the elephant in the room, but I will say it's interesting because, excuse me, the Kansas City Chiefs currently are the number 1 seed in the AFC. But they got themselves a tough schedule ahead of them, I feel. Or at least a decently tough one enough. They got the Chargers this Sunday. They got the Browns next Sunday. They got the Texans, the Steelers, and the Broncos. If anybody watched Monday Night Football 2 days ago, they saw Cleveland and Denver putting up points like it was nobody's business. There was no reason that game needed to be as entertaining as it was. Both those.
So I have a question really quick before you dive into this much further. Have the Chiefs lost since the Bills game?
No, the Chiefs currently only have The Chiefs currently have still one loss, and I believe it is the Buffalo Bills that have two. Yeah, the Bills clinched their division. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah, yeah, I saw that on Sunday, right?
yes, and Sunday
Yeah,
in
yeah,
a
I saw that.
blizzard against San Francisco. I love it.
Oh yeah, and mom was showing me pictures and stuff, and they were like, they have to like heat the lines because you can't even see them.
So I want to ask you this, Babs. This is the very last question I got. Are the Chiefs still the favorites to win the Super Bowl again this year?
Of course, just because they lost one doesn't mean anything. That they were eventually going to lose one anyways. Might as well be now and get it done and over with and start a new
But
streak
this is the
over.
thing. You look at the teams you got compete. You got the Lions who've only lost one game. You got the Bills who've only lost twice. Um, you got I want to put some more top teams that are up here. Um, you got the Steelers who've only lost three times. You go to the NFC again. You know the Eagles have only lost twice. Hell, three teams
Yeah,
from the look at the NFC North. Three teams are going to go to the playoffs there. The Lions, the Vikings, and the Packers.
yeah, but even still, they might have a record like that, but the Chiefs are one in like what 365 or whatever. So you know what I mean? So it's
Right.
kind of a yeah.
I mean, fair enough, fair enough. Well, folks, we're gonna wrap it up this evening here on Roundabout Sports. First, get a few pieces of maintenance out of the way. You can find Roundabout Sports on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Pocket Cast, and anywhere else you can stream a podcast. Please, please, I implore you, we would love it if you subscribe to us to get all the latest updates and all the newest episodes. Be sure to follow Interstate 70 Sports Media on Facebook, on X, and on our official YouTube channel. Roundabout Sports also has our own YouTube channel or our own Facebook page, as does Issues with Wrestling with Christopher Miles and Jared Shannon. Speaking of Jared Shannon, if you want to advertise with us, even if you're the tiniest of local businesses, we're about supporting local. We want you to be a part of our family. So be sure to shoot Jared Shannon a DM for more information or shoot us a message on the I-70 Sports Media Facebook page. And we'll be sure to work with you on that and strike up a great deal. And of course, excuse me, we end the show always with putting up the NAMI helpline. And for that, you dial 1-800 950-NAMI. That is 1-800-950-NAMI. The National Alliance on Mental Illness is the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization dedicated to building better lives for those who struggle with mental health issues. And of course, we put up the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. And for that, you dial 988. The line is open 24/7, 365, 366 on leap years. Understand you're never alone in this world. There is always somebody out there who loves you, who cares about you, who wants nothing but the best for you. We all struggle. I'm telling you, folks, we struggle every day in some way, shape, or form mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially. But guess what? That doesn't mean you
All
have
of
to
the
face,
above.
yeah, or all the above. Babs is right. But you don't have to face that alone. You're just a phone call, you're just a text message, an email, you know, a therapeutic visit. That's all you are away, you know. And you could be the listening ears and the watchful eyes for somebody else that's in need. Um, you know, there is plenty of love to go around in this world. So let's keep on trying to spread it. Once again, I want to thank the fabulous Babs herself, Barbie Ann, for being my fantastic co-host and compadre in all of this. And of course, folks, yes, thank you. We hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving last week. We were off, so it's weird, but we are back in full swing. Thank you so much, everybody that tuned in throughout the duration of the show. And be sure to tune in next week And until then, she's Babs. I'm the Maestro, Jeremy Carp. And remember, life is a book full of empty pages just waiting to be written in. Make your lives worth reading. Good night, everybody.